Hi everybody, Brett back, altitude scale model with another Sprue review. This time we're going to look at the new Meng F-18F Super Hornet Bounty Hunters version. Kit number is LS016. Officially licensed product, 1/48 scale. You must be 14 years or older to look at this kit. Features, details, accurately produced, flaps slats down, horizontal stabilizer is movable, 2-seat variant cockpit interior equipment, precisely replicated, specially designed pluggable pylons allow easy change of weapons. Kit includes a lot of weapons. Two U.S. Navy pilot figures, and finely replicated suit and equipment. 2 flight helmets optional provided. P-cut stainless steel parts. Masks. High-vis and low-vis paint schemes. A lot included in this kit. There's a color call out. They are using AK colors and not AK real colors. There's some of your weapons and some CAD next to that. Looks either 3D printed or just might be built up and painted in gray. Other side has plenty of information about the aircraft and the kit, which you can pause and read at your leisure. Copyright 2022. Hong Kong, made in China. Let's see what we got in here. It's a good sized box. Beautiful artwork. We got something where you can take pictures of your online or your models and do an online contest. Expires in a month though. And then we've got fuselage, top and bottom, bagged separately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear decals with the P, metal pins, masks, instructions. So, let's start with the fuselage, shall we? Now, Meng has gone the Tammy route with staples, which I don't like. Since I plan on building this kit relatively soon, I'm not even going to bother with the staples. I'm just going to cut them staples right off of there. Here we go. Panel line, rivet detail, beautiful plastic. It's got 2020 copyright there, because there were other versions of this released. There's a G out there. I'm pretty sure there's a D maybe. There's at least 2 other versions of this, one of them being the G. So, you see, lovely panel line rivet detail. Doesn't look overdone. Kind of does on the camera because it's such a good camera. Detailing all the way around on the sides. This is a very modular kit because there are many versions. Inside, just be careful of ejector pin marks in the wing area. And it doesn't look like this was attached to the sprue because it's all smooth around there. So it may have been, but they cleaned it up nicely. Next, where'd it go? The bottom half fuselage. And this bag has the poly caps, which make it so you can change the weapons. There's probably some for the tires, so be careful not to lose those. There we go. Got some venting, got some access hatch panel. And give this a little bit of a test fit, just because we can. There you go. It's a nice fit in there. And back here. Nice click in place. Look, you almost not see that panel line, or that seam line. Again, seam line looks just like a panel line. So there you go. Looking good. Fit together nicely. I'm just going to get it apart now because it's got some nice attachment points. Here, 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 here. Go together nicely. So they put some good thought in assembling that. Now let's go to some wings. These bags are not stapled. These are heat sealed, which I prefer. And there was clear parts in there too, so pay attention. This part with, oops, sorry, looks like seeker heads for some of the missiles. That's what all of it looks like. So let's set that this side so we don't lose it. Here's this nice sprue, tail sections, flaps, ailerons. Oh, there's two of them. Good thing we didn't lose those. So your tails go together in halves. Looks like everything on here goes together. But again, very nice detail. Crisp, sharp, no flash, rivet detail, panel line detail. All the antennas, sensors in the tail. Not sure if those are chaff buckets or venting or pylons. I haven't seen the instructions. Flip it over, make sure these all, looks like they did sand some of them down. There's a little bit of a raise. I don't know if it's enough that's gonna matter, but you can see they did sand some of these down. Nice touch. A little bit of detail for the positionable parts. All right. So far, this is looking like the most beautiful F-15 I've seen. Sorry, F-18 I've seen. In 48 scale. This one, we're gonna open. It's got weapons. Sorry about that. So in here, let's to the side for a second. Mavericks. I do have the Edward weapon set, Big Sin weapon set. It's got all the weapons that this would ever want, including Mavericks. But if you wanted to use these, they look very nice. Very detailed. Got the launch rails and everything. And this one looks like it has our landing gear bays, sidewalls, landing gear legs, intakes, wheel, doesn't have weight on it, Sprue C, And I'm not seeing, I guess there's kind of a, well, you can see it, but right here, kind of a seam line, burr line on the landing gear leg, but a couple swipes, get rid of that. Great detail on the bays, hosing, wiring, even on the sidewalls of all three bays. Inside the intakes, you do have some ejector pin marks, but they do look out of the way. Up here you may have, but they may have sanded them out already for you. So down here they do, up here it doesn't look like they do. And in your gear doors, no ejector pin marks. Same here. Same here. This one does have some. I'm not sure if it's going to be opened or not, but there are some there. And then your front leg is in the weighted down position, so it's going to have weight on it. But again, maybe a tiny amount of burring on there, but not enough to get yourself all worked up about. Here is Sprue F, which is some more wing parts and some more weapons. Start with these. One piece. The engine is not hollowed out. It's got the launch rails, two of those. I do not see a burr line on those. Maybe a little bit, but I don't even think so. Here, wings. Lower wings, of course. Very nicely done. See that fine rivet detail. It's going to hold a wash nicely. All around. We'll have to check and see if you can fold the wings when we look at the instructions. It almost looks like you can, the wing tips. But we will have to check. Again, inside looks like they polished out the ejector pins that were raised. But test fit, just to be sure, because there's a little bit on this one here. But these might have foldable wing tips. Be interesting to see. I know they do, because these you will use for your wingtips down. These you will use for your wingtips folded. So maybe they fit in there so you can't really change them out. But you can decide folded or unfolded. Nice touch. Here we have cockpit. There are a couple small weapon screws or pylon screws. Let's see. Nope, a couple more weapons. Looking good. Again, no real burring or seam line on there. They do give you a lot of weapons. And we've got a cockpit tub, which you can always buy aftermarket, or you can detail this up yourself. And there's the framing for your instrument panel, front combing, back of the cockpit. There's one instrument panel right there, some sidewalls. And then there's the framing for the canopy. All very nicely detailed. here are some more fuselage parts, and this one has clear parts in it that I see. I see them because these are in a bag, and these look like lights for the aircraft, and some seeker heads. And here we have the sides of the fuselage, the intakes, another instrument panel, those, I'm sure they're ventings for the engine, I'm pretty sure. Nose, there's the front combing, I thought I saw earlier. Surprisingly, right here and here, and it's good, there's no ejector pin marks. See the back of the sprue, you see the nose. There's the other instrument panel. And some other parts that go all along the fuselage, the arrestor hook. And these look very nice, they're hollowed out perfectly. And then the detail, access panel, rivet, all along, even the hinges. You undo screws and the hinges hold it open. This is looking really good. Really, really good. This bag has 2 big and 2 small screws in it. So, let's start with the blister arms. 2 of them. Looks like there's 2 of every weapon in here. Those fins look, I noticed on the other ones, but they look almost scale thinness. Again, nicely detailed. Some more nice weapons. And these are matching sprues. That's where there are 2 of them. So we'll look at one. You got your fuel tanks, you got some pylon, there's one of your pilots with his head, there's a spare helmet, there's an arm, ejector seat, nozzles, main landing gear, and a front wheel is 1 piece. Horizontal stabilizers are 1 piece. So, the detail on the pilot, nice, as is his helmet. You know, his head, arm, good rivet and paneling detail on the pylons, access hatch on the fuel tank, no weight on wheels on the tires, there's 3 more arms on that side. Pull handles, sides to the ejector seats, main part with the cushion and everything, your engine nozzles, there you go, that should be your first stage compressor, I think. Back of the ejector seat, put that riveting right there and there. Beautiful work. All these pylons are in half. So it doesn't look like you have different types of engine nozzles that are open or closed, or if you even should. That was the last of the big sprues. We have 2 more weapon sprues. Yeah, I'm messing with the staples. I don't know why. This one These are one piece. They do have hollowed out engines. There's 3 of these. So you can see hollowed out. Is there a seam line on there? Kind of a faint one, maybe. 3 of those. I'm not putting them back in the bag, so. And there you go. Another cluster bomb. Again with those beautifully done fins. 2 of those. That's it for all the colored plastic. We've got the clear parts, which, of course, staples, which I'm going to remove so I don't scratch the clear parts. 1. 2. And gone. So these are all wrapped up. I will see if I can unwrap this. Not too much of an issue. Because I don't want to crack it. I want to try and use that again. Okay. Now there is a center seam in there. I don't know if it's supposed to be in there. I don't think so. But it's raised and it'll just get polished out. Not too overly thick. Rivet detail on the side. And beautifully clear, slight distortion because of the complex curve. You can see that seam line right there. That's causing some distortion. So that looks good. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this again. This one I'm not going to unwrap, but it's got the front one and the lights in it. I'll keep them in there just to keep them safe. Okay. Decals. Again, staples. Okay. Check this out. Look at how they did their masks. Get your wheel masks, your canopy masks that you're going to fill in with liquid mask. They made it so they're easy to see because they're on clear film. I've not seen that before, but that makes me very happy. So this doesn't actually go with this. I just wanted to see how it looked. This actually goes with the weapons decals. Laser, stencils, printed by Cartograph in Italy, which means these as well. Beautiful, printed by Cartograph in Italy. Now, the low-vis looks good, but I want color, so I'm going to be using these. I want some color on this one. Those low-vis markings are nice too, you can see. Carrier film right up next to it, in between some of the letters and some of the numbers, but they're cartographs, so they'll go down nice. These are the pins that are going on your pylons that are going to hold your weapons on, that are interchangeable. And this looks like your flame holder for your engines. Throw this back in here. And finally, look at the instructions. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. Beautiful artwork, just like on the cover. Glossy front. Lots of warnings. Lots of cautions. What tools to use and how to use them. And then you're going to get right into it. Now, back here is your color callout. It's in AK and Mr. Hobby Accretion, and they give you the color in various languages. So, there would be your colors. But if I turn off this light, maybe, get rid of most of the glare. Okay, start with the cockpit as usual, then work on, looks like, the forward landing gear bay. Yep, because it goes under the cockpit. All your decals, if you're going to use your decals. Putting your wings on the top of the fuselage, putting your intakes together. Your nozzles, the landing gear bays are going in there. Putting the landing gear bays and the intakes on the bottom part of the fuselage. Side intake covers. Putting two fuselage halves and the nose together. And then your HUD display. Looks like there's just one. Do this first, then that. And you're putting your nose cone on, all the other parts of the cockpit going on, flaps, ailerons. Underneath of it, the plane, again, flaps, ailerons, adjustable, how you want to position them. All over the place, all these are for that. If you want the flaps retracted, you got to cut off parts. And wing folded position. So I was right, you can fold the wings. If you fold the wings, this is what you're going to do. Okay, this wing folded position assembly. And they're going to go like that. Then you've got your tails. And you can get all this assembled, and then your landing gear can be done later. This is opposite in parking position, ready to launch position. So it's got two different ways to do it, and you're putting some decals on for if it's in the parking position or if it's in the launch position. So yeah, because this would be out connecting to the catapult. So this way parked, this way catapult. There you go. You're putting your front one in, then you're putting your main ones in. Step 19, putting the doors on. Again, you're going to paint the edge red. We all know that with American naval aircraft. Putting your pylons and your weapons together. You're putting those polycaps in. Pay attention. Small polycaps for these weapons that are interchangeable. And then the ones that aren't interchangeable, you just put them together. And then there's the pins that are going in the pylons. Watch out for those. Excuse me. There you go. Missile mounting positions. Weapons loadout. Your ejector seats are getting done last. Your two pilots are getting done last. You can choose to put the pilots in. The canopy. And a boarding ladder comes with it. And boarding ladder folded up. So the ladder can be down or up. Showing you how to use your masks. And then you'll fill it with liquid mask. And there you go. Color callouts. Colorful one, which I'm going to do. And all the stencil data. And then low-vis version 1. Low-vis version 2. Oh, there's weapons. Skipped a version. Low-vis version 2. Low-vis version 1. That's the one I skipped. Same scheme, just different identification numbers and pilot names. And then painting and decaling and stenciling your weapons and your pylons. And sprue mat. And there you have it. I'm looking forward to building this so much that I'm going to be building this next. I'm going to be building it alongside my build review of the HK B-25 that I'm doing. So, I say if you like F-18s, give it a look. Look at that box art. Isn't that beautiful? So, sit your ass to the bench, pick up a nice kit like this, which might take a little longer to build, detail it up, and have yourself fun. Like I said, sit your ass to the bench and have yourself a good time. Thanks for watching.